Hi everyone, it's Tiffany. I am back in The Sims 4 with a speed build in honor of the upcoming Halloween holiday. I have decided to do I don't want to call it a Halloween build, but it's like a haunted house Halloween, but also fun. I'll explain. Let me explain. So, there's so much like cute wallpaper, and so thinking about like the spooky stuff pack and the paranormal pack and all of that, like more fun um haunted house stuff, not necessarily dark or dingy or anything. I really wanted to work with those packs and of the like with like Realm of Magic, some vampire stuff like that. And I really wanted to work with this and use some of the fun wallpapers that I literally never use. I was actually in a live stream doing a different build, and some of y'all suggested I do this, and thank you, because this was a really fun way to be able to use these wallpapers, and I'll go through that in a minute when we get there. But that is the main reason for this build. So exterior wise, I definitely wanted it to be like haunted house, but also it's like it was a haunted house, right? And then a family who loves spooky stuff and loves Halloween and loves scary stuff moved in and renovated it, but kept some of the hauntedness, but mostly made it look good. You know, that's what we're going for. I know that's a little complex, but that's literally what we're going for. I was kind of modeling it a little after one of my tiny town tiny home builds, like kind of more of a Victorian look, at least at the top. And I didn't want it to be super huge, like a super huge mansion, so I thought this was a pretty decent size. I did have a really hard time deciding on the windows though, and ultimately I did decide to do a few different windows, right? So the up third floor is different. There's no third floor, but the third set of windows is different than the other sets and whatever. So that's kind of part of the we renovated this, but we made it look a little better, but we kept some of the old stuff situation. I even at this point was like, oh, should I put a lot of vines and a lot of that vampire vinage where it's kind of like kind of dead, kind of ivy-ish. But ultimately I was like, no, I think I want to just keep it normal on the outside. But I did kind of like decorate it with some fence and stuff, which we'll get to. All right. So now I'm just breaking it up in terms of rooms. I figured we could have a master with an ensuite and a nursery. A nursery was a must because I wanted to use the storybook nursery kit that we got not too long ago. And here I'm starting to put in the wallpapers. So like that fun cobweb wallpaper, the fun light colored ghost wallpaper. It's just like, how often do you use those? You don't. So like I really wanted it to be fun like that. And like making this living room, this light blue color was just really fun and pretty. And I had a really good time using these. The downfall, I will tell you that this project may seem fine and dandy right now, but there is a huge problem. And if you guys can see it, comment down below because I don't even notice it until I'm literally almost done with the build, and I'll bring it up then, okay? So just keep an eye out. There's something majorly wrong with this build. So wrong that I would have had to have redone the whole shell of the house to fix it. Anyway, oh, I'm just adding in some porch and what do we call it? Stone. And I did like the idea of I like to use these island living type stilts for porches because it just really gives that porch aesthetic, right? You know, because a lot of porches are off the ground like that, like the wooden ones. Anyway, any porch we ever had, that's how it was. So we didn't really have like a lattice to cover it up or foundation to cover it up. So it was just open like that. And I figured I'd use bushes and shrubs and stuff like that because I am bringing life to this place again. You know, we're in, of course I had to save, so of course we have to have a pond here. I don't think it's one of my builds without a pond, to be honest. So I just do all of my basic pond stuff and landscaping, and I'm just trying to add as much of it in here as possible. I also was like, there's not a big enough tree here, so of course I had to get a large tree. But yeah, I just wanted to add a bunch of little shrubs, bushes, flowers, pathways, all of that stuff in, and now is the time that we're doing that. I was having trouble deciding on a pathway, but ultimately I just went with the gravel. I did purposefully put all of the landscaping in before I fenced in the entire yard. I just I kind of wanted the fence to be built around that, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It was a style choice. Anyway, pond time. I do love, I say this every time, but I love building ponds. And I really want to like a landscape pack so badly so that I could have more stuff to play with, but it's fine. I understand. So we're just putting these bushes and shrubs and flowers and everything around. When I find something I use on the pond, I tend to take it somewhere else too to double use it and so on. Now, I did want to make kind of like a little gap. You'll see it in a little bit, but a little gap where they could walk and wade and whatever in the pond and could even put a fishing sign if you wanted to. I didn't want it to be completely closed off. So that's that. I mean, there's not really much else to it. I definitely wanted to change the watercolor and add in some ducks, some mosquitoes, some. Did I put in fish? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to wait and see. But I definitely wanted the pond to look a little murky. But it's got a lot of diversity in terms of wildlife in there. So, of course, we're going to line the drive with some bushes and some rocks, and we're just going to have a fun time with the landscaping. There's not too much to talk about here. And just a reminder, keep an eye out. You can't see it from here right now in this screen, but keep an eye out for the mistake. So, for the back porch, I just wanted a cute little pathway off to nowhere and then one to the pond. And then, of course, I always paint some dirt underneath my trees and shrubbery because it really gives it that look that it doesn't get too much sunlight under there and it's not as green. You know, if you plant plants or if you have plants or if you've ever been around plants, you know. Just adding more greenery in. I was trying to cover up this little bit of platform, shall we call it, foundation in the front, and that was the only bit that I needed to cover up. I also really love this fence. I think it went so well with the build. I don't know, I've been starting to use it a lot recently, and it's just amazing. All right, so it's time to go inside. This is where I started kind of trying to strictly filter between the darker packs. I say darker packs, but I mean like spooky and dark and light packs. So this I'm using like Realm of Magic Kitchen and paranormal curtains. I've got lots of fun stuff going on. Now the living space is probably my favorite space because of the color scheme. It's a blue and gold or blue and yellow, and it's just really beautiful. Second would be the nursery. I do wish the nursery was a little bit larger. That's the only downside to the nursery because I would have loved to deck it out and a lot more stuff. So that is kind of like the big thing. I should have ultimately made this build a little larger, but that's my problem, isn't it? I always build houses too small. I just always do. That's why I do so much better with tiny homes. I just have a hard time making large houses. I don't know what it is. I've struggled with that for a long time. If you've been watching my builds, you know. So that rug right there will probably end up catching on fire. So just use, if you do download this, which by the way, it will be available on the gallery under my ID, which is Ohcluck. And this rug may catch on fire, so just use caution or shrink it down or whatever. It's more decorative at this point. And if it causes a fire, it causes a fire. It looks good, so that's what we need. Oh my gosh. And of course, this space over here was a little empty, so I wanted to make a cute little reading corner or just like a hangout corner or somewhere where you could have a cup of tea. And then this area up here, the landing, is kind of just, it's quite literally just the landing, and there's not much to it other than some art and some lamps and some plants and things. I don't know if I ever really talk about that upstairs, like up the ladder. I am not doing anything with that except for putting a meditation stool up there. I just think it's the perfect space for that because it is a very small space. And some may say that they don't like the ladder in the direction that it is against the window, but think about it this way. A, it could either be a retractable ladder, right? You know, one of those just telescopic ladders where you just pull it down and somebody just like leaves it up all the time. Or B, It's literally just a ladder that's propped up against there for all of eternity because why not? That's all you need to pretend at this point. That's what I'm pretending. So anyway, I'm trying to lighten it up by putting a lot of shrubbery and everything. Let me know if you're getting like haunted vibes from this. Now, part of me wanted to wait for the Life and Death expansion pack to come out to build this because I knew there would be good stuff in there to use in here. However, I wanted to get this build out for Halloween or like before Halloween, and the pack comes out on Halloween, and I'm already planning a lot of different playthroughs and everything, so I'm going to be pretty busy, and I obviously don't want to be doing another build on top of that, so maybe next year. But I'm excited to see what Life and Death comes with so that I could possibly add to this, or I mean, even if you download it and you want to use this, you could add to it. It might be fun. Anyway, I wanted to keep the kitchen pretty much like tea serving related. So we have like a little teapot and a kettle and some tea bag boxes. And then of course I'm going to put a little dining space over here, and I wanted to keep it light and fun with the paranormal table. And I did put the tea thing on there for a while, but I forget where I moved it to or if I even kept it. I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. I don't remember at this point. I thought it was really nice. I just wasn't like it just wasn't the space. And then I was trying to figure out what to do with this space, and I was like, "Oh, I should put a table here." And I'm just like, "I don't know. It's already a skinny space." So I left it blank, and I figured I'd put a picture there. So, I changed the color scheme upstairs a little bit, back and forth from like a red to a blue to like mixed colors and all of that stuff. Can't decide. And then I found some other things here and there, and I'm trying to figure out if I can make vines work on the outside of this place. And I don't know, just picking photos and pictures. The vintage ones really, really looked great in this kitchen in particular. And now, of course, we're going to use the storybook kit. Oh my gosh, like I said, I really wish this nursery was bigger. This was like the main inspo. This ghost, like pastel ghost wallpaper was the main inspo for this entire build. And I ended up coming up short for it. So I did build it with a crib and a little baby mat, right? So you could convert, like make the crib into a toddler bed kind of thing or whatever. Now I'm realizing that my bed is too I could fit it, but it's also going to be like too large. Now I did switch because originally where the single beds are right now is what the master was going to be, but I had to switch because there just wasn't enough room for like the stuff we needed in here, right? So I went with these nightstands because they are some of the smaller nightstands we have. We don't have a lot of small nightstands. I wish we did. And I've just made do with what we had here. Now, getting into the ensuite is such a problem that I did end up just using an archway because I fear the door just wouldn't have made sense. Even if it did function, if I did get it to function, it just wouldn't have made sense. So I made this into bunk beds over here too, which I think was definitely the move because it gave us a little more space. And we keep bouncing from room to room, so I'm trying to talk about one room, but then I'm looking at another room. But this room was the kids, or I imagine it being like a boys' room, like two boys. They love spiders and dark colors, and I don't know, but girls can live there too. Whatever, whoever wants to stay here, adults can stay there. I don't care. So I did want to put a lot of this vintage stuff up. I forgot about the basement treasures kit, which had a lot of good stuff in there as well. Kind of should have put a basement on this build. If only a set of stairs would have fit. I definitely would have put a basement in here. It would have been super creepy and I would have loved it. So just adding in some final touches into the boys' room. That's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm titling it. And then, of course, I'll end up putting decal posters all over the place. Just like, fan posters. And I did use that bookshelf. I know it's more of a baby bookshelf, but honestly, like, name a better bookshelf in this game. I'll wait. I love that bookshelf. Oh, so I really cluttered up the walls with that. And then here's where I stick in the art. And I figured I'd make it pretty simple. And I think this is where I realized the mistake. Guys, can you figure it out? I forgot a bathroom. So I had to completely just change up what I was doing. I moved the back door to the side where the kitchen is. You can see it there. And I had to change this little foyer mudroom essentially into a bathroom because there's no way I could put it anywhere else. I literally forgot a bathroom and I couldn't even use the upstairs. Like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I guess in theory I could have used the third floor, the little octagonal room, as a bathroom, but even that is a stretch. So I had to do this. I'm not happy about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very upset because the back looks weird. I mean, I kind of straightened it out and made it look a little better, but it's just not great because you have the stairs coming off of the middle, and it's just like that's where a door is supposed to be, but also like, it's just weird. But also, this is like a haunted renovated house, so like I'm sure there's lots of weird stuff. Heck, I even thought about making that ensuite bathroom into basically just in like a hidden room. Not that I was gonna put like I was literally not gonna put a door or anything on it. I was just gonna make it a room. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, just trying to salvage my decision there. And then I found all of the Halloween stuff from the spooky kit. Is it a kit? I forget the name of it. No, it's a stuff pack. The spooky one. The spooky stuff. Anyway, I started decorating the front with that. So you could definitely take those off of the build if you wanted to make it a little less Halloween. But since 'tis the season, I figured I may as well. And I like putting the graveyard in the back. I thought that was clever. But anyway, this is it. I just deck it out with some pumpkins and some ghosts and stuff, and that's about it. So we are gonna hop over into the tour here in just a moment, and we're gonna walk all the way through it and see the final product. So let's go. Here we are, right outside of the haunted house. It's so cute, and like I said, I think I said, you could just remove these Halloween decorations when it's not Halloween, I guess, or whatever. You can keep them up all year round. It's totally fine. But anyway, we're slowly creeping inside the house. And we're going to take our first look. Let me scoot down a little bit. So here is the entryway. I'm still kind of torn about this little chair. I do love it though. You know what I should have done? I should have added in a little shoe rack or just done the little shoes. You can just do the shoes and put them there so that like it's kind of like a seat to sit down so you can put your shoes on. I like that a lot. I wanted to be able to incorporate that into this build. All right, now to my favorite room of the whole house, the living room. We have our little reading area over here. We've got our, of course, relaxation. Careful, don't set the rug on fire. This room is so pretty and light and fun, and I really love it. And the view outside, I love the big windows. And then the bathroom that we almost forgot about. This was definitely scrambled together last minute. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's fine. It's totally fine. All right, we're gonna go over into the kitchen, and then we'll probably go upstairs and then outside. All right, so here is our dining table and then a little high chair. We've got food bowls for the animals, got our candy bowl, nice simple kitchen. And then we're gonna go upstairs, up the stairs, la la la, lots of pictures. This light is a little low, maybe I'd put that up too. And then into this little hallway entry room. I mean, honestly, think about it. That doesn't look too bad, right? I could have probably put a curtain at least on one side. I don't think this looks bad at all. It's just like you propped up a ladder right there, you know? It's like pretend it folds up. Anyway, this is the room. I love, or hallway room. I do love it. Let's go to this bedroom first. All right, lots of wall clutter. Very much fun. I just love that they could just open up their window. Not really, but like they could, in theory, open up their window and just go walk out on the balcony. It's so cute. All right. Oh, that poster's clipping through the thing. Anyway, let's go over into the nursery, which is probably one of my favorites that I was most excited to make. I do wish it was a little bigger. Unfortunately, it's fine. But we got the essentials in here. which should have just been a bathroom at this point. And then the master bedroom, which definitely is a tight squeeze. But you know what? It's an old house. We're just doing what we can. And then this bathroom. I thought this was interesting. Anyway, let's go outside. I think I'm gonna take the stairs because I am not a ghost and I can't just pop through the walls. So we're gonna go out the side over here and to the back. I must say, I don't love this anymore that we have to go out the side and to the back, but it's okay. We had to make last minute adjustments without changing the whole build, and it's unique. It's something that I haven't done before. But anyway, this is the view of the back. Like, this is so beautiful. I don't know, like, I wouldn't put this table in my yard, but like this is pretty normal and I quite like it. The swing set just gives good vibes for the house and everything. And of course, I always love me a good pond. And yes, we are in build mode, so that's why you can see those. Normally, if you're in live mode, you won't see those. But that is the backyard. We've got lots of activity back here. We love it. Surprise, we are back. I did forget to take you up the ladder up to this room. I definitely did this on purpose. I did not decorate it whatsoever. I left it very plain because I see it as, of course, a meditation area. There's not a ton of space up here, but a lot of different things can be done up here, and I thought it would be fun to kind of leave it up to you if you decide to download it. / for my family, I will just leave it as a meditation room, and it's just complete emptiness with just the meditation stool. I thought about putting plants up here, but I don't know, it didn't fit the vibe. So I mean it did fit the vibe, but I didn't want to have to put all kinds of wall plants on here because I didn't want to put like tables or anything on the floor because it is a bit of a tricky area. I do need to player test the ladder. I didn't do that, but if it doesn't, by chance doesn't work, all I need to do is rotate the ladder. So if we go downstairs, down the ladder, and it kind of already is out of place, if you will, but you know, if you turn it and then it's kind of more in the middle of the room, it also gives the same vibe, but it should work. But yeah, that room's pretty small up there. Well, guys, that is going to wrap up our little happy, spooky, fun Halloween build. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Again, it will be available to download on the gallery under my ID Ohcluck. Shout out to my members for supporting this channel. You guys are super amazing. I hope you're enjoying the bonus content. If you're not yet a member and are interested in becoming one, definitely check out the link in the description or the join button down below. There's currently plenty of bonus members only content already up and available to watch, as well as at least one new video that goes up every week. Usually more though. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe and I will see you next time.